Hello there, friend. Welcome to this space, a quiet corner of the internet where we're going to talk about something that matters deeply to your life, but often gets overlooked in our busy world. I want you to take a moment right now. Just pause whatever you're doing. Put down your phone if you can. Find a comfortable position. Sitting on a chair with your feet flat on the floor, or perhaps lying down if that feels more peaceful for you. There's no judgment here. No expectations. Just you and this moment. I'm so glad you're here because what we're about to explore together isn't just another technique or another thing to add to your already full plate of responsibilities. What I want to share with you today is something far more important. A way to clear the mental blocks that may be holding you back from living the life you truly desire. You know how it feels sometimes? Like there's this fog in your mind, or maybe a tightness in your chest, or thoughts racing around like uncontrolled horses. You try to focus on work, on relationships, on creating something meaningful, but everything feels just slightly off. And the worst part is you think this is normal, that this is just how life is supposed to feel. But here's what I want you to know. It doesn't have to be that way. The mental blocks we all carry, they're not permanent fixtures of your personality or your circumstances. They're patterns, habits of thought that can be gently unraveled with the right tools. And meditation isn't about sitting still and doing nothing. That's a myth that keeps people away from something that could transform their lives. Meditation is actually an act of rebellion against the constant noise we live in. It's saying to yourself, I matter enough to pause. I'm worth enough time to breathe. And when you give yourself even 5 minutes of intentional stillness, something remarkable happens. The fog begins to lift. The tightness starts to loosen. And clarity, real, genuine clarity, begins to emerge. So whether you're feeling stuck in your career, struggling with relationships, or just wondering why life feels heavier than it should be, this journey we're about to take together is for you. Not because you need fixing, but because you deserve the gift of a clear mind and an open heart. Before we dive into techniques, I want to talk about what mental blocks actually are, and more importantly, why they form in the first place. Think of your mind like a garden. When you don't tend it regularly, weeds grow. They're not malicious. They just take root because there's space for them. Mental blocks work the same way. They're thoughts and emotions that have been allowed to accumulate over time. Worries about the future, regrets about the past, self-doubt, fear of failure, exhaustion from carrying too much. Here's something important. Mental blocks aren't a sign that you're weak or broken. In fact, they often indicate the opposite. They show that you care deeply. You have standards for yourself and your life. You want to do better, be better, create more meaning. The problem isn't you. It's the lack of space in which to grow. Let me share something I've learned through my own practice. Mental blocks are often protective mechanisms. Your mind is trying to keep you safe from disappointment, from pain, from uncertainty. It's been doing this job for thousands of years, keeping us alive by anticipating threats and preparing us for challenges. But in our modern world, where the biggest threats aren't lions or predators but emails and deadlines and social expectations, these ancient survival mechanisms can become obstacles rather than helpers. The irony is that we're often most blocked when we want to move forward most. We want to create something beautiful, build a meaningful life, connect deeply with others. But our minds are stuck in loops of what if and not enough. Here's the liberating truth. You don't have to fight your mental blocks. You don't have to force them away or shame yourself for having them. The most powerful thing you can do is acknowledge their presence without letting them define you. Imagine a storm passing over your mind. The rain is heavy, the wind is strong, but eventually it passes. Your mind works the same way. Mental blocks are weather patterns, not permanent conditions of who you are. And meditation gives you the tools to watch storms pass rather than getting swept away by them. Let's begin with our first technique, and I want you to try this right now if you can. Close your eyes gently, or soften your gaze toward the floor. Let your shoulders drop away from your ears. Take a deep breath in through your nose, and let it out slowly through your mouth. Now bring your attention to your breath. Not trying to change it, not judging whether it's right or wrong, just noticing. Where do you feel the breath most clearly? For some people, it's at the tip of their nose. For others, it's in their chest. Some notice the rise and fall of their belly. There's no correct answer here. Your body knows where to anchor your attention. When I first started practicing this simple technique, I thought meditation was about achieving a special state of consciousness or having profound insights. But what I discovered is that meditation is actually about returning again and again to the present moment. And the breath is always available as an anchor, a gentle tether back to now when our minds wander into worry or regret. Here's something important: your mind will wander. It absolutely will. That's not a failure, that's normal. The brain is designed to think, to plan, to remember, to imagine. When you notice that your attention has drifted and gently bring it back to the breath, that moment of noticing is meditation. That return is practice. Let me guide you through this for a few minutes. Breathe in and breathe out. Notice any thoughts that arise. About work, about relationships, about what's happening later today, and let them pass like clouds across the sky. You don't need to engage with them. You don't even need to push them away. Just acknowledge their presence and return your attention to the rhythm of your breath. If you find yourself getting frustrated that your mind keeps wandering, I want you to be gentle with yourself. This is where most people quit meditation, not because it's difficult, but because they're hard on themselves for not being perfect at it. But there's no perfection here. There's only practice. Each time you return to the breath, you're strengthening a muscle that will serve you throughout your life. Try this for another minute or two. In and out. Feel the cool air entering your nostrils, the warm air leaving. Notice any sensations in your body, tension in your jaw, tightness in your shoulders. Let those sensations be there without trying to fix them. Just observe them with curiosity rather than judgment. When you're ready, gently bring your attention back to this space. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, know that you've just practiced something powerful. The ability to return to yourself. That's the foundation of clearing mental blocks. When you can find your center even when chaos surrounds you, nothing can truly disturb you. Now let's move into our second technique, which is particularly effective for releasing physical manifestations of mental stress. Mental blocks often have a somatic component. They live in the body as well as the mind. Tension stored in your muscles can reinforce feelings of being stuck or overwhelmed. For this practice, I want you to bring awareness to different parts of your body, moving slowly from head to toe. Start at the top of your head. Notice any sensations there: pressure, tension, warmth, coolness. There's no need to change anything. Just observe with kindness. Now move your attention down to your forehead and eyes. Are they tight? Do you find yourself squinting or furrowing your brow without realizing it? Many people carry years of stress in their facial muscles. Take a moment to soften those areas. Imagine breathing into them, allowing any tension to melt away like ice in warm sunlight. Bring awareness down through your jaw and neck. This is often where we hold our breath unconsciously when we're stressed. Let your jaw relax completely. Feel the weight of your head resting naturally on your spine. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, imagine releasing any stored tension from your neck and shoulders. Move down to your chest and heart center. This is where many people carry emotional burdens, feelings of inadequacy, fear, disappointment. If there's anything here that feels heavy or constricted, acknowledge it with compassion. You don't have to resolve anything right now. Just allow space for whatever is present. Continue down through your arms and hands. Notice any tightness in your forearms or clenched fists. Let your hands open naturally, palms facing up if they're resting on your lap. Feel the weight of your arms supported by the chair beneath you. Bring awareness to your belly and lower back. This is often where we hold stress when we feel overwhelmed or uncertain. Take a deep breath in, filling your belly with air. And as you exhale, imagine releasing any stored tension from this area. Move down through your hips and legs. Notice how your feet are resting on the floor, or if they're elevated, notice that sensation too. Feel the connection between your body and whatever surface supports you. This grounding is essential for feeling stable when your mind feels scattered. Finally, bring awareness to your entire body as a whole. Notice how it feels now compared to when we began this practice. You might not feel dramatically different, but even subtle shifts matter. The act of noticing creates space between you and your tension, and that space is where freedom begins. When you're ready, gently return your attention to this room. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, know that you've just practiced something profound. The ability to release what no longer serves you. Mental blocks often persist because we carry them physically as well as mentally. By releasing tension from your body, you create more room for clarity in your mind. Our third technique is a visualization practice that can be especially powerful when you're feeling particularly blocked or overwhelmed. This isn't about escaping reality. It's about creating mental space within it. I want you to close your eyes gently and imagine yourself standing in front of a large, dark room. The walls are lined with shelves, and on those shelves are various objects. Some useful, some cluttered, some forgotten entirely. This represents your mind right now. Full of thoughts, memories, concerns, both helpful and not so helpful. Notice how the darkness feels. Is it heavy, confusing, or perhaps there's a sense of potential hidden within it? There's no judgment here, just observation. Now imagine you have a flashlight in your hand. This light represents awareness, clarity, the gentle attention you bring to your experience. Turn on the light and begin to explore this room slowly. As you shine the beam on different objects, notice what happens. Some things become clear and useful. You might decide to keep them or use them. Others are clutter that doesn't serve a purpose anymore. Here's where it gets interesting. Imagine you have a broom made of pure light. With each sweep, you're not destroying anything important. You're simply clearing away the excess. The dust motes dancing in the beam aren't enemies. They're just things that have accumulated over time and can be gently removed. As you continue sweeping this room, notice how it begins to feel different. The darkness isn't gone. It's still there. But now you see it differently. It's not threatening. It's simply empty space waiting to be filled with intention. And as the clutter clears, you begin to notice something remarkable. The walls of the room are actually quite spacious. There's more room than you realized. Now imagine this cleared space expanding outward until it encompasses your entire mind and heart. You're not trying to fill it immediately. You're simply creating the possibility for clarity to emerge naturally. Take a moment to sit in this imagined space. Feel how different it is from when we began. The darkness hasn't disappeared, but now there's light within it. There's room to breathe, room to think clearly, room to be exactly who you are without the weight of accumulated clutter. When you're ready, gently bring your awareness back to this physical space. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, know that you've just practiced something transformative. The ability to create mental space through intentional attention. Mental blocks often persist because we feel crowded by our own thoughts. By visualizing clearing that space, you're training your mind to recognize that there's always room for more, room for peace, for clarity, for whatever you need right now. I want to be honest with you about something important. Meditation doesn't have to happen in a special time or place. In fact, the most powerful practice is weaving these techniques into your ordinary days. You can do breath awareness while waiting for coffee to brew. You can do body scan sensations while washing dishes. You can use visualization while commuting or walking between meetings. The key isn't finding perfect conditions. It's practicing presence in whatever moment you're in. Here's a simple framework I recommend. Throughout your day, set gentle reminders to pause and check in with yourself. Maybe it's when you hear a certain song on the radio, or when you see a particular color, or simply every hour on the hour. When that reminder comes, take 3 conscious breaths. Notice where your attention is right now. Are you fully present, or are you mentally somewhere else? This isn't about adding another task to your day. It's about transforming how you experience whatever tasks already exist. The same email you're writing with scattered attention can be written with full presence. The same conversation you're having while distracted can be experienced as a genuine connection when you bring awareness to it. I also want to encourage you to start small. Don't try to meditate for an hour every day if that feels overwhelming. 5 minutes is enough. 3 minutes is enough. Even one conscious breath taken with full attention is practice. The goal isn't duration, it's consistency and kindness toward yourself. And here's something I've learned through years of teaching this work. The most important meditation happens when you're not meditating. It's in those moments when you notice your mind has wandered into worry or frustration, and instead of getting swept away, you gently return to awareness. That moment of returning is where real transformation happens. I want to address some challenges that people commonly face when starting meditation practice, because I know how discouraging it can feel when things don't go as expected. One challenge is the belief that you need to achieve a special state of consciousness or have profound insights for meditation to be worthwhile. The truth is, meditation isn't about achieving anything. It's about being present with whatever is already here. Even if your mind feels chaotic and your thoughts feel overwhelming, that's still practice. That's still valuable work. Another challenge is the belief that you need a quiet room, perfect posture, or special equipment to meditate effectively. While these conditions can be helpful, they're not requirements. You can meditate in a noisy apartment on a lumpy couch with clothes that aren't comfortable. The practice isn't about external perfection, it's about internal presence. Some people find it difficult to sit still for any length of time. If that's you, try moving meditation, walking slowly and mindfully, gardening, washing dishes with full attention. Or use a timer that vibrates gently every few minutes as a reminder to check in with yourself. The goal is awareness, not immobility. Another common challenge is the belief that you need to be religious or spiritual to benefit from meditation. This couldn't be further from the truth. Meditation is simply a tool for training attention and cultivating self-awareness. It's used by people of all faiths and no faiths alike. The only requirement is willingness to try something new with an open heart. And perhaps most importantly, if you feel frustrated or discouraged, that's okay too. Frustration is just another experience to observe without judgment. You don't have to fix it right now. You can simply acknowledge its presence and continue practicing with kindness toward yourself. As we come to the end of this time together, I want to leave you with something important. Clearing mental blocks is not a destination. It's an ongoing practice. There will be days when your mind feels clear and spacious, and there will be days when it feels crowded and heavy. Both are normal. Both are part of being human. The gift of meditation isn't that it eliminates all mental blocks forever. That would be impossible because we're living beings who experience the full range of human emotion and thought. The gift is that you now have tools to navigate those blocks with greater ease and compassion. You can recognize when they arise without identifying as them. You can create space around difficult thoughts rather than being consumed by them. I want you to remember something I've shared today. Mental blocks are not a sign of weakness or brokenness. They're simply patterns that have formed over time, and like any pattern, they can be gently unraveled with consistent practice and self-compassion. You don't need to fight your mind, you just need to relate to it differently. As you continue on this journey, I encourage you to be patient with yourself. Growth takes time. Clarity comes in waves, not all at once. Some days will feel like breakthroughs. Other days will feel like gentle progress. Both are victories worth celebrating. And remember, you don't have to do this alone. There's a whole community of people who understand what it means to carry mental blocks and want nothing more than to find clarity too. Whether through meditation groups, online communities, or simply connecting with friends who practice mindfulness, you're never truly isolated in this work. So here's my invitation to you. Start small. Try one technique today, just one. Notice how your mind responds. Be curious rather than critical. And most importantly, be kind to yourself throughout the process. You deserve nothing less than gentle guidance and compassionate support as you learn to clear the mental blocks that may have been holding you back for far too long. Thank you for being here today, for taking this time out of your busy life to explore something that matters deeply to your well-being. I hope this practice brings you clarity, peace, and a renewed sense of possibility in whatever comes next. And remember, the most important meditation is the one you do right now with yourself in this moment. Breathe, be present, and know that you are exactly where you need to be.